Alright, I think I've got everything in order.
I'm not happy about this.
Yes, I know, but that last recording we did was just embarrassing. By the way, you deleted that, right?
Yeah. Yes?
Victoria!
What do you want from me? I don't like deleting my hard work.
Hard work? You lay on my couch without pants and refuse to get up for your own coffee before warbling into a microphone.
Hot chocolate.
What?
I didn't ask for coffee, I asked for hot chocolate.
And still, I don't know what that is.
How can you not remember what hot chocolate is? You used to make it for me when I was a little girl.
I'm pretty sure I'd remember that.
Apparently not.
You sure you're remembering that right?
It was one of my favourite memories.
Pardon?
Nothing. Anyway, you're trying to distract me from the original argument. I don't like scripting the Anthem logs.
There is so much stuff we have to talk about, and we'll just forget things if we don't have a guide.
Fine. Alright. Let's take a look. Victoria sits down and picks up a page. Welcome to the Anthem logs, dear listeners. What the hell is this?
It's a script?
You wrote sound cues in here and everything.
Yeah. So?
We're not actors, Silas. We're idiots on a couch.
Will you please just read the script?
I can't.
Why not?
It's in 1,000 small, torn-up pieces. It's too hard to read.
1,000 torn up... No, it's not. That was unnecessary. And a little bit mean.
Welcome, dear listeners, to the Anthem logs, unscripted and awesome as always.
Alright, so, after our last log failed magnificently to provide any real information on the new world we live in, we decided to do a full breakdown on the first few years after the change.
Starting with the very first year.
Alright, so in the immediate aftermath of the change, the various populations of the world were confused. The change cut everyone off from each other. No internet, no cell phones, no landlines, nothing.
The baby boomers were so happy.
All lines of communication gone. As far as we know, most of the world was rendered essentially unlivable in those first few weeks. Cities sunk into the ground or inverted themselves. Farmlands turned to salt and concrete, and millions of residential homes simply vanished. Anyone lucky enough to survive the region's change now had to survive on their own.
Weirdly enough, the apotheosis actually succeeded in its goal, despite the sabotage that caused all this.
What do you mean?
Well, the whole point was that they drained magic from the world, or saturate it with magic.
Yeah, to stop the war between humans and magicians.
Well, it stopped the war, didn't it?
Well, I mean... Oh shit, you're right.
See, there were still way more mortals than there were magicians after the change occurred.
Though, considering the physical, psychological, and spiritual metamorphosis that occurred, I can't say that anyone could call themselves mortals or magicians anymore.
Yeah, but they did.
Well, I mean, what would we be if we didn't classify and sort things? That's what makes us people. That's way too heavy of a conversation to have right now, Victoria.
You're right, let's not talk about that now.
Right, so after the change, it didn't take long for most, people to figure out that matters surrounding them in the environment wasn't stable.
Yeah, because the magician could sense the oncoming changes.
Exactly. Once they figured out what those sensations buzzing around their heads represented, they were able to guide groups of survivors out of danger zones and to safety. Suddenly, magicians were being used as guides by mortals. Usually they were paid very well in food, water, and other supplies.
And since they could sense other magicians, some members of the magician community found work as runners, locating other groups of survivors and delivering messages or packages between them.
It was about a month before small pockets of survivors around the world were able to reconnect lines of short-range communication with each other.
It's funny to think that between mortals and magicians essentially losing huge parts of their identities, and the sudden necessity to have a magician in your group, the hatred of magicians slowly declined.
Hey, Victoria?
Yeah?
Could you, go get me a glass of water? Yeah, my throat's feeling sore.
But I don't wanna...
I'll ask around the neighborhood for some hot chocolate if you do.
Fine, sounds fair.
Alright, she's gone. I know she won't check the log afterwards because, well, she's lazy, so I can talk about this without her knowing. And I think I'd prefer her not to know. So yeah, the hatred of magicians was starting to decline, as groups of what used to be mortals were using their magical minds and sense, or whatever, to keep ahead of the changing, shifting world. But it didn't go away entirely. There were plenty of groups who refused to partner with magicians and continued to kill or capture them on sight. You've got to remember that the war was still recent in everyone's mind, and in a world where our concept of what made us human was being challenged, we suddenly had no one to oppress. There was no such thing as man, woman, white, black, American, French, or whatever. And now I hear you saying, but Silas, you sound like a white American man. I wasn't. Before the change, I was none of those things. And I've done my best to keep to the heritage of who I used to be before the change, but I can't keep it straight in my mind anymore. I can't focus. I wanted so hard to believe my culture wouldn't change, that it wouldn't leave me just because I didn't look like I fit in that demographic anymore, but it did. It died. Mostly because suddenly I couldn't find anyone who was like me anymore, who looked like they would celebrate who we were with me, because I couldn't tell if they used to be the kind of person I was. It's just, I think, it's not fair. It's not fair.
One glass of water. There you go.
Thanks, Victoria.
Actually, I don't think you should call me that.
Why?
I think I'm going to adopt a stage name, or screen name, or whatever you call them.
Technically, it's an audio name.
All names are technically audio names.
Don't choose a stage name. I like your name as it is. Plus, we've already said it like a bunch of times in the last few logs, so it wouldn't make much sense to call you something else.
We haven't said it that many times. Not enough to warrant me keeping this name.
Victoria, 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 Victoria.
God damn it, Silas.
Anyway, the survivors now had a way of finding each other and sensing which locations were constantly changing and shifting.
Some groups became nomadic, constantly on the move, staying one step ahead of the changing world. There are still hundreds, if not thousands, of nomads still roaming the world today.
Other groups went searching for stable ground, a place they believed would never change. These groups were led by a young man named Azel. He traveled between groups or sent messengers in his place to spread his belief in finding a stable land to build their new civilization. He came at just the right time, I think. Months after the change, when most of the world's landmarks had started to vanish and hope was fading, Azil became the guide for a new race. Keeping tabs on the groups of survivors who agreed to join his cause, Azil organized for as many people to stay near each other as possible as he searched the new world.
And one day, he relocated the apotheosis. The monolith had drifted into the air after the change, and the ground below it for so many miles was unchanged.
We knew what the environment around it had looked like before the change, so when Azel and his group arrived and found the area untouched by the change, they knew they'd found a safe zone. It was there that they set up their new home, bringing materials and equipment to build what's now called Nadir City.
Amazing to think that they did all that in 20 years.
Well, they did it in 19 years, and it wasn't exactly easy, which you'd know if you'd kept the script I gave you for the next episode.
Yeah, whatever. So that was the first year. Are we done?
Yeah, I guess. Alright, let's take a quick break. Then can we record the next episode right away?
Why so fast?
I don't know. I guess I'm just in a recording mood.
Fine, what's next?
Years 2 through 5.
Oh, fun. More history lessons.
The sarcasm is palpable.